You. Yeah, nice to be here. Fun fact, I checked actually my HealthSec own journey started from here. 2000. Silence, what the fuck? I started my HealthSec journey from here. It was 2019, April. Riku showed me that there is a good community. Come here, have a drink, listen some cybersecurity speeches and so on. Now I'm here, fulfilling my stupid promises, having a speech here. And thank you, Riku, for that. Actually, I did have to do it during the COVID, but I didn't want to have the monologue with the laptop on the webinar. So now I'm here alive. What else? Today I'm going to speak to you about the enterprise architecture and how it can help you in the information security work. As a manager or as a specialist, it doesn't matter. And basically I'm going only through the, let's say, business architecture. So who am I? My name is Ilja Ikonen. I'm working as a CISO at Verkkokauppa.com. I'm also head of the risk management and business continuity and whistleblowing process and procedures, working a lot with identity and access management and so on. I have the greatest team ever. Shout out to Mirko and Sami. I think Mirko is here. He is our, let's say, technical information security guy. Sami is handling the GDPR things and our basically Windows administrator. Before Verkkokauppa.com, I was at KPMG, a lot of ex-co-workers here. And what I did there, basically a lot of audits, different kind of information security assessments, consulting for the information security management systems, IPO projects, internal audits, you name it. But yeah, those were fun years. I was there maybe a little bit more than 4 years. Before that, I went to Vaasa Yliopisto. Actually, I'm Masters of Business and Economics, but my major was computer science, and I did an extra minor from industrial engineering and management, where I think I got my process autism or something like that. About the computer science, cybersecurity was very fascinating, and I was interested about DOS attacks and SQL injections, and actually I did my bachelor and master's about SQL injections, and I think that's my technical skills there. Free time, I play video games, hang out with my friends, sports, walking, golf and tennis are the sports I like the most nowadays. Yeah, friends and food. And actually now I have a new hobby. I bought the Hero Quest board game, if you know that, and I have been painting these little figures. Actually, it was like a month ago, and I think I have spent every evening with these little guys. Yeah. But what I have this evening, content is I'm sorry, but I have to have these general slides about InfoSec is quality, the basic CIA. And one slide about how to build, manage, or lead the quality system. Okay, it's very short, but go through like how we are working with that. Then general slide about enterprise architecture, what it is. I don't know if everybody knows that, so fast forward there. But then actually I made a little case company, which I'm gonna go through, and let's see what kind of information security quality controls we can find in there. And after that, there is also included in enterprise architecture, there is also system architecture or software architecture, information architecture, and technology architecture, which I'm gonna skip because time is limited. Yeah, information security is quality. I always think about like it's only quality here and there, and it's measured by confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Basically, where you can find these quality controls or findings or gaps, whatever, you can find it in the business processes, information systems, databases, technologies, which means like from networks and endpoint devices, other devices. For this, there are a lot of frameworks. What I call quality systems is like ISO 27001, which we use in Europe and so on. I think a lot of people have their own opinion about ISO 27001 and does it guarantee the security or so? But I think if it's done well and used well, I think it most def guarantee the security and the quality. One thing to keep in mind is scoping, of course. That's the key to the success. So basically, if you're having the ISO 27001 to the whole organization versus one service or function or whatever is the target. Scope well. Other quality systems, what I want to just put it on for example, are the environmental risk management. I feel that's a quality system. Business continuity, etc. But yeah, in the end, better quality leads better products, safer products. Probably you're not getting hacked, satisfied customers, you're compliant, etc. So next, little bit about the information security management system. So where to start, basically. Of course, it would be nice to have the enterprise architecture for foundation when you are starting to do the management system. But first thing would be the documentation. What I like it most, the hierarchy of the documentation. So everybody knows tietoturvapolitiikka, that's the silver bullet for every vulnerability and unsecure things. But that's very important to have. Then you have the, let's say, business managers in the security program, let's say, and it can be the public document to the stakeholders too. Next in the hierarchy would be the standards or information security principles that are not changing so often. And you could basically take all the control areas from ISO 27001 and have the standardized. And last but not least, all the guidelines you are having there, all the tools you are using or the processes. So that's about the documentation. What else you need? I think you need the information security strategy. It needs to be aligned with the business. Include some things there. In our information security strategy, we have our organization's values discussed with the information security, what it means in information security. Also, the business strategy focus areas. So if the business wants to do some freaky tricks or something, I don't know, you could basically have the strategy how you will support the business to do the new things. Threats is one thing what we look at, is like basically you need to have or prepare for the threats or trending threats. Then quality system, the whole framework, so basically all the control areas from ISO 27001. We always look like what we can do on the log management, what we can do on the IT processes, what we can do to the software development and so on. High-level architectures, those help you a lot, and of course the technical cybersecurity capabilities, which is a little bit like the cybersecurity architecture to find like what kind of capabilities we are probably missing and what we have in place. One thing to do, make an annual plan from the strategy. So strategy could be like for 4 years or 5 years or something like that. Of course you update it, but make an annual plan for the next year, what you're gonna implement and develop. Then schedule all the tasks from the annual plan, of course, and from the information security management system. For the continuous development, there are some mandatory things to do every year. And one thing would be like keep in mind, be agile with the plans. The environment is changing, vulnerability is coming, and so on. So, of course, you can stick with the plan all day long. I don't know how you see it, but basically here is a picture. So you got some kind of ideas, gaps, findings, predictions. Make it a strategy. Do an annual plan, annual cycle, and that's about it. That's the ISO. But yeah, this is a wall of text. What Riku said he loves the most. We can be silent and read it out. No, we are not gonna do that. Okay, but one thing I wanted to put it like, of course, the Wikipedia is the bestest. But the thing is like how I feel the enterprise architecture is. It's basically having a blueprint of the whole organization for its processes and technologies and so on. And of course, helps you, develop the whole organization and find the gaps and have the principles and practices here and there. So the full enterprise architecture would look something like this. This is only an overview, like what it means. So basically, okay, there are a lot of frameworks to use. TOGAF and Zachman JHOS is our government's way to do enterprise architecture. But we have 4 basically layers here. So we have the processes, what the people are doing in different functions. Then we have data and information architecture, of course, the software or application architecture here. Basically, what tools they are using in their processes. And then on the bottom, we have the technology architecture, which basically is the IT infra, networks and servers and so on. One thing here is like define the criticality of things. So basically you can say this is a critical process, this is a critical system or so on. That could be in your information security standards and what would be how to, let's say, put controls on those. And it's a very important thing to do together with the enterprise architecture. And of course, it will help you with the business continuity plans and so on. This was, I was checking some materials. I found it out, it's some kind of survey, but there were questions to the security initiatives that what is most important thing to do 2020. So one answer was that increasing the enterprise architecture CISO collaboration would be very nice thing to do, an important thing to do. But when I'm looking at this thing, I think that improving risk assessment capabilities that would basically, in my opinion, need some enterprise architecture, because then you have the clear vision or clarified vision about the organization and its assets. Basically, zero trust technologies adopting would need architecture as the SARS portfolio, and yeah, implementing security framework. It would be very nice to have a very well-defined enterprise architecture. And this evening we're gonna talk about the business architecture. What is business architecture is basically describing your processes and the whole organization. For this, it can have different levels. So basically, starting from the organizational level, when you see the whole company, its processes, and so on. I think I put it here. It's mandatory, basically. Every organization should have this kind of map about what they're doing. Then there is the next level. When we go deeper down, we have our operating models, frameworks, etc. And this should be, also my opinion, should be mandatory to have. But when we go more down or the bottom, we have functions that could be basically optional, and of course the process and flowcharts. And I think this is the most recognizable for the people, which is a little bit like a shame, my opinion. I would like to see these first when I'm doing something with the processes and with the organization. Here is the example company. Let's go through this. So basically everything here, everything, is it Turgos or Suan, I don't know, but are affecting the company. Some things, okay, you can probably, can you see the text? No? Okay, nice, okay. It's nice here, but okay. No problem, I will go it out loud, but basically ISO 27001, the A18, which is one control appendix or control area, is that you have to take care of the regulation and all the laws and requirements that are facing your business in information security minded, but also whatever it is, all the business should check it out. Of course, you have customers, that's why you have the business, what kind of requirements or expectation basically the customers have to your company. And of course, again, you can think it like an information security perspective, that one would be like B2B customers having some kind of requirements. Then you have your vision, strategy, values, and mission for the company. Of course, I'm not going to go on this because I already told you a little bit about this, but of course you have to have that in mind. Then you have the whole company. These are inputs to almost every process in the company. And after that, I hope everyone in their own processes are monitoring, evaluating the outcomes, let's say, and probably you will have the satisfied customers. And for the continuous development, like the example ISO 27001 has, so continuous development is one thing to keep in mind to develop basically your information security management system. So keep that in mind, and everything rolls here. So one thing about the leadership and governance, I feel like these are the functions or frameworks that that needs to be all over the place. Let's say information security and privacy. You can see it everywhere here, what the people are doing. But also enterprise architecture, compliance things, and sustainability, basically strategy and so on. What we have here, we can say these are core processes. So you could have R&D, supply chain management, sales, and marketing. But what I'm saying here is basically keep in touch with these guys, the managers, the directors of these process owners, because you need to help them with the information security. This is one of the most familiar for the people here. So basically the IT infrastructure and support work and their processes like change management and so on, So implement some information security there. HR is one thing, personal security needs to be checked, and of course finance, so basically follow the money, what's the integrity of all the financial data and the controls that they are having in their processes. But yeah, we're gonna take a closer look to the software development. I'm not a software developer, but I think we can simplify this and have this cyber security or information security controls during we are going through this. Actually, I was thinking having a couple of processes running at the same time, but it would be a huge mess, and we don't have time for that. So, okay, from the software development, we can see the software development here. We have the planning, build, test, and deploy here, but of course, they have something inside. Here, about the planning, gonna skip this and have a talk about the planning later. But about the building, when the developer is coding, he basically, coding something, then he tests it, having a code review with another developer, and basically linting. That's not maybe the best example, but still, they are doing that in the phase of building. But what the information security guys, CISO and other specialists can do is like you can add these quality controls, like I would say, to the process. So basically, static dynamic code analysis, abuse test cases can be done in this, and of course the code review. Maybe the developers don't know about these, let's say, information security minded things, how to review them, so help them break the build code analysis and so on. About the testing phase, usually it's unit testing, integration testing, end-to-end testing. So again here, you could have the common abuse cases. Pen testing, I think that's very familiar to the almost everyone here. And of course, you need to do some compliance validation, PCI, GDPR, you name it. It depends on the company. And fuzzing, which we're gonna have next talk, I think so. Then the deploy, which is like CI, CD, continuous integration, and so on. You basically configuration, deploying, monitor, detect, contain, stabilize. But for this configuration validation, maybe they would approve things to the production and so on. And of course, things to do would be some logging, and if you have SIEM, push the logs there and have the alerts. And disaster recovery actions could be rollbacks or whatever is happening, basically drop IPs or whatever from another country, or what to do when the DOS attack starts. I'm a cotton mouth now. But yeah. Yeah, the next level, we're gonna go to the planning. Okay, what happens then when we go to the next level? So basically, we have coming here to the planning. We have the grooming and the requirements. What we're gonna look here, and then we have acceptance criteria. Nice. Okay. But what I'm going to, what's the point here? Grooming is a session in Scrum, I think, and Agile development. So basically get the people together to talk about the stories and the features you are going to develop. Basically the people there are product owners, Scrum masters, developers, etc. We are skipping quite a lot because now we are at the grooming. We are doing actually the coding. So before that, you would have described the whole epic, which is like a large project, and from there on, you should assess some risks and so on. But next, we can go to the requirements that people are in the room or in the teams doing things. But what you should do is identify the dependencies for the developed, let's say, ticket, but it's a story. Of course, the enterprise architecture could help you in this. What reads here is people, processes, systems, information, data, and technologies. After that, when you understand the dependencies for the story or the ticket, one thing is like have some criticality on it. And the point here is like you can basically use your common sense. If you have some new feature that is handling financial data or personal data, you would say it's probably critical, medium or high. And if you are versus that, you are changing the front-end design of your web page. When you are coming on this level, medium, high, the point is like then you should have some kind of quality controls, again, information security controls in place. One could be Stride, which is like you could do it basically with the radio buttons 1 to 3, like how big is the risk that something gets spoofed or DOS or information disclosure tampering. You could go that through. It wouldn't take too long to have some kind of score about the story or the feature you're developing. And after that, if it's very critical, of course, it's always a good thing that you have some kind of threat modeling for what you are doing. Of course, you can have it on tabletop practice, and there are also different systems to do some threat modeling. I like the Windows is own and it's free. Okay, it's for the Windows products, but Microsoft products, but it doesn't matter. Basically, the threats are almost the same. After that, when the sprint starts, you should have some kind of acceptance criteria, AC. And what I pointed here out would be like basically InfoSec things in the developing should be in some way or another in mind when they are doing the code. But yeah, next we're gonna go to the planning, and this is the lowest level of the process descriptions. Yeah, we're gonna skip this. So I didn't have actually time to do this whole thing, but basically what is about this level, you can get more insight to the processes, procedures, the tasks that there are, and who are doing what. And these would be very valuable, from example, when you are checking out the financial department and so on. So what would be the internal threats and gaps there, controls missing. Then one thing to remember is basically help the organization implement the information security to the processes by Tietoturvapolitiikka, the silver bullet you need to have. But of course, the information security standards, which the ISO 27,000 maps quite nicely, I think so. That's why I like it. And of course, the guidelines, the tools, the processes, like how the people in your organization can fulfill the standards. In this case, what I've gone through is basically if you go to the software development head of software development guy and say, do some stride, do some threat modeling or so, nothing will happen, basically. So cooperative, go there and have those quality controls implemented in here and there. Summary of the whole enterprise architecture thing. So what I say here is case closed. It's not, but that was like a one process where we took the deep dive and talk about the InfoSec there. But of course, organizations are different. There are a lot of processes that you should, in some level, go through to understand the company and what kind of risks they are having related to InfoSec. And a minor thing like yesterday I was talking with our communication and marketing team about when we are sending the emails, like log into Verkkokauppa's Tili and do some changes, and I was talking with them, maybe we shouldn't anymore send some sign-in links, because basically all the scams are done like that. So we should only say, like, go to the verkkokauppa.com and go sign in your log in your account and do the things. People basically know what to do then. Information architecture, basically what is here is like public, internal, confidential, secret data. Have some DLPs, controls there, here and there to watch the data, but of course the logical and physical architectures for the data and information is something that would be nice to have when you are doing the InfoSec work to understand the company. Here we have the application or system architecture. One that would be very nice would be have the map of all the systems, basically logically, like how they are integrated to each other. And then you could say, like, this is a critical system, this is medium, this is low, and go through that. But what that helps also is when you are doing the business continuity things and so on, then you know you can say if it's a critical system, if it's on-prem or we are maintaining it, do a DRP for that. But the requirements basically. And of course, if you pick one system, like we did with the process, we can have a container there, like the client-side web app, server-side web app, so on, so on. And basically, when we pick one of those, we can see the components of the system. We can have the quality controls there and hardening there. And of course, the lowest level is the code level. And there was the quality, I don't know, hints to make the code more, I don't know, secure, better quality. And last, you have your IT infrastructure architecture, so basically, or your servers, networks, and what is critical, VLAN, or so on. But yeah. That should be all. Of course, the endpoints are on this level that the people are using at your work, so harden your things, assets, I would say. But yeah, that's all. Hieris pystyy vetää. Season never sleeps. Yeah. Okay, that was all. I don't know, do you have any questions? I know that was...
Hey, how big do you have to be to think about these things? Can a man and a dog and his three friends kind of company start thinking about quality or enterprise architectures already?
Good question. I don't know what's the scale, like how big you need to be, but basically I would say, like, it doesn't matter if you are a startup company or tiny company. It would be always nice to, you know, have the processes defined or something like that. That what we are doing here, and of course, when you are growing up as a company, I think it would be, then it's very hard to make all these things. Start early, let's say. Good question. That would be my advice. But mies ja koira, enterprise architecture, yes.
If you have any additional questions, please raise your hand and I will come with the microphone to give it to you.
Okay. But yes, if no questions, gonna grab beer and we can talk later. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Ilja.
Thanks.
Give a hand for Ilja.